I swear it's nothing to be worried about. Like, I promise you, I speak on behalf of all of us. When I say we just chopping it up, I promise you, we just chopping it up like round table discussion. It's all or nothing. Building over thoughts you wouldn't walk through the public. Connected like the plug is. The outlet is the line from top to bottom. It's whatever's designed. And it's Gucci behind these doors up here. Get it all in the clear. We'll check something, but it's all sincere. So book them, Danny. Line them up like they in.
Welcome to Chopping It Up here at Faded. I'm your host, Gucci. Here's my first lady,
Danny.
My co-host,
Sincere.
Oh man, we're going to continue the conversation we had last episode. When to stay, when to go. First, we want to say big shouts out to Tito to Connect, man. He was here last week. He's got his concert coming up. We want to wish him much success.
Yes.
Sorry, we couldn't elaborate more on the episode then, but we're going to go ahead and continue now. We're going to jump into like, why is it that we don't leave? So I'm going to start with my man, Sincere, over here. Why is it we don't leave, sir?
Why is it that we don't leave? Or more importantly, when should we leave and when should we stay?
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
When should we leave?
Because
When
I've
should we
been,
stay?
like I said in the last, I had a little situations where, you know, I wouldn't say the sucker, but I didn't read the signs and it was time for me to go and I did. And that's hard because sometimes you could want something and think that's for you and it really don't be for you.
Or could it be you be possibly wanting something in a certain amount of time and that time just isn't for that person at the moment? Not to say the situation isn't, you know, just the factors that you wanted to add up on the time frame that you wanted to add up on just didn't meet your schedule.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also too, that I think that comes down to the standard. With your standard for, I didn't have a standard when I went into the relationship. Like my standard was like, whatever she want to do, I'll be, you know, rocking it out and sticking right there. And the whole time, it was done. So, but I'm still sitting there like, I'm in love. I'll never let it go. And then it was, and then the bad part about it is I had a relationship where I did that to someone else and I didn't even realize that I was doing it until you see after the fact. You know what I mean? You see that good, you watch a movie like twice and then you realize, oh snap, I didn't even see that. Yeah, I didn't even see that right there. Like that's really a situation.
Or even how about that, you know, we're all human. We all change, we all grow. A lot of people, you know, hop into relationships. I remember being younger hearing certain people say, like, as long as you don't change on me, man.
But you're gonna change.
How do you change how do you grow as a person?
I mean, how do you not change? Like that.
Right.
Every
So
day is
a lot of
changing.
people don't take that into consideration either.
Yeah.
Is that we grow as people. There's no, it's about growing with your partner. Having that understanding of, okay, even though I'm not going through, you know, metamorphosis, he might be going through something, going through a change and being patient and knowing that partner, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So that has a lot to do with people figuring out whether, you know, they should stay or should they go, weighing your pros and cons.
Yeah, weigh your pros and cons, of course. Then you got to also realize if the situation just fits you or not, because then you have situations where, you know, you have expectations that aren't being met, and maybe expectations aren't something that person can meet. Maybe, you know, y'all had a moment in time where it was just luxurious and you wanted it to last forever, but it's not. Nothing lasts forever. I don't mean to be the
He's the
bubble.
one that taught me that.
I don't mean to be the bubble
Everything dies.
buster. Everything dies. So.
To a certain degree, I'm not fully in there with everything, down because I do believe that if you, back to like our previous episodes, that order, if you can find that order and have it really a part of your life, that God, you, sometimes it's worth, sometimes me not having a father, not knowing how to be a man, you feel me? So going into the situation and wanting to be that, but having the uncle that was a father. That wasn't nothing personal for me. It was just someone who stepped in for the role that made me like, all right, well, that's good, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick it out. Because as a man, I have to be able to stand there and maybe I'll stick around. But I think that also leads to me not noticing the red flags.
Because you're sticking it out.
Yeah, because I'm sticking it out. You know what I mean, some things is good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, order's always important, but that everything dying part that I'm talking about is that desire to be there. That desire can die. That desire is dead. What are we doing?
So that's why I agree with your, everything dies. It took me, that's something you've been saying for years.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to even come down to, you know what, maybe he is right, because how about even if we are in a great, wonderful marriage, even great, wonderful marriages and relationships go through, changes and things of that nature. And even if it's going from one good part of our relationship growing into another part, that part died and we morphed into something else. Not saying that the love or the energy or anything went either, but that part did end.
Yeah.
Because we morphed into this and we're even stronger because of it.
I get it. I completely understand what he's saying. I completely do. But, and I'm being combative because of the fact of life. I'm loving it. I'm trying to appreciate it. And to just let something, I was in a relationship and a part of it died. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it died because I let it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I ain't fight for it. Meaning as though that my strength and what I believed in, you ever see something that get reignited? You know what I mean? I didn't put forth the proper energy to ignite that on the level that it needed to be. That evenly yoked type situation. I mean, just be only on the strength of when we allow things to take place and just sit over and say, all right, well, that's what it is. No, sometimes you gotta keep fighting for it.
You gotta keep fighting for it. Don't get me wrong, but even in the fight, let's say you were with somebody, y'all break up, y'all live life and come back together. What y'all had died. What y'all brought back is something different, something new, because you just brought in 2 new people. Because everyone you were is dead.
Right. If you're, especially using the example that you just used, if you're, y'all been together before, obviously something didn't work out. So if y'all come back into it a second time having that same energy, of course that shit's not going to work out.
It's not going to work, but unless you actually
y'all have already
changed.
proven that to y'all selves.
And I think my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but unless y'all actually put the effort forward and change to be a new person in this new day,
then what we was doing needs to be dead so that we can move forward.
I mean, as personally,
and don't take death like the finale.
And that's ultimately that's what it is.
Don't take
I'm
death
taking
as
it because
finale,
death
no.
is such a
Death is more so like it allows for new. Like,
right.
If
You
people
think
live
of the
forever,
permanency of it?
it's I've noticed that in my 40 years of living that certain words trigger certain situations where love is it means something completely different. Like even though none of us agree to a lot of the open relationship situation, but when you say an open relationship, like that doesn't compute. So when you saying death to the situation, like dead, because in my mind I'm combating it as like, no, life is about life and you got to keep fighting for it, and you know what I mean. But I do understand letting stuff go. That don't mean I have to necessarily let that die, or even if I'm in a relationship, like when I want to
let it die.
When I want a marriage.
You don't let the love die. You let the situations that was going on, and we got to come into a different space.
I mean, look at nature. If every tree that ever was planted lived and didn't die, you wouldn't have room for more trees. You wouldn't have room for more species of things. You wouldn't have room for evolution things to happen.
Bad analogy.
No, not bad analogy.
You know how good the air would be?
Now, let's pull it into love. Let's pull it into love, because now, as the 2 people in the situation, y'all both growing. Some of your habits are going to have to die to keep this thing going. A lot of your thought processes are going to have to die to keep this thing going, because as time is going on, you're changing. And you can't change holding on to the same. You can't have your hands full expecting new blessings. What has to be here will eventually have to hit the ground and die for you to collect something new.
That's where most people get confused, and you ever hear people saying that they feel stuck and stuff? Why? Because you still holding on to shit, the bad things.
Listen.
You gotta free your hand up so that you can get a better grip.
I must say, I understand what y'all saying. All right, 10 toes down. I understand.
That's only one part also.
But like, and this is where I'm taking from it. And I'm not letting go of the fact of I believe what I believe. But I do understand, I wouldn't say necessarily it's dead because what needed to be let go or what needed to no longer be in my life, I had to learn from that situation. Even if it was something that needed to get separated from me.
Yeah.
It ain't dead, it ain't gone. Because whatever that negativity was or whatever that bad thing that had to get taken away from me.
Sometimes not even a bad thing. Sometimes just a shift.
But I use that for everything that I'm going through, and sometimes I forget about it. But it's a genuine
So
thing.
you need to keep it alive.
I not so much keep it alive to where it becomes toxic. You know what I mean? Like I understand, like when y'all say the dead, I get the dead part. It's like don't allow something to have power over you.
So the first thing that pops in my mind when you say that though is like even think of like a grandmom that you had. Your grandmom might not be here no more, but does that mean that the things that she's taught you and everything has
Don't
to
stick
die
with
with
you?
it? No.
You gonna put my grandma
hold-
in this?
I'm
Where my grandma in?
I know, don't be putting my grandma in this.
No.
But do you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no.
You know,
And truthfully, I do understand. It's just it's the understanding of what y'all saying that y'all can understand what we're talking about. So that we have three different point of views. We want to have where two people have. I understand what y'all saying. I don't agree.
It's just not how your mind thinks.
I can't sit over there. Death has been, and it's just the word death has been such a negative, toxic thing. And I'm like, man. And even on things that you need to get out your life. Like we talking about when to stay and when to go. When I began to let that go, because it's not for us, it's not really important. I mean, it's a word that y'all used to describe a situation that benefits y'all in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely good. But I need to let go of the fact that it's just a word.
Right.
I'm sitting over here still holding on to that
the
word.
death.
Like, oh, you just saying.
Not even holding on to the word. You heard holding on to your definition of the word. Because
Facts.
it's not
Facts.
like, because death it's an end to something, but you also forget at the end of something is the beginning of something else.
Right.
What you?
Absolutely. I agree with that.
What's
I also feel like not even on a relationship tip. Let's even talk about like jobs.
Yeah.
When to stay and when to go, man. So a main reason why someone would hold on is even yo-yoing between jobs and relationships is comfort. A lot of people get comfortable.
A lot of people get
Let's think
comfortable.
about our jobs. How many times have we busted out work, had a hard ass week at work, and was like, I cannot stand this job. I don't know how I'm gonna do this again next week. But we stay because why?
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable. You know what? It is paying my bills right now.
You know what
It
another
is.
thing too is? When they sit over there and say, oh, don't worry about it, yo. You keep on sticking, you're going to get this promotion.
Right.
I got you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to be the supervisor.
Absolutely.
You're going to be the supervisor over here at Feeder. Don't even worry about it, bro.
Absolutely.
Then you find yourself training the boy that's
for the position that you were supposed to
And guess what?
be
Getting ready to
doing.
happen. Your position that you had is about to die.
And his is about to start anew.
Exactly.
That's when you need to let it go.
That's when you just
You
need
see
to
the
know when
red
to let
flag,
it go.
and it's time to let it go.
Yeah.
Right.
And for I'm glad that you even brought up the whole scenario, because when you think about something, you're like, oh, the relationship. No. Sometimes it's a job. Sometimes it's materialistic things. Sometimes
It's life. You just got to know when
It's
to let
part of
go
life, yeah.
and when to take on the new. Sometimes there's going to be a point in your life when you're going to be let go, and there's going to be a new. You just have to let the cycle happen. Without that, existence wouldn't exist.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with letting go. Just when you come to those crosswords, you got crossroads. You got to understand what you're willing to fight for and what you're willing to let go.
Yeah.
Sometimes people sit out here and I've been in relationships. I've been at jobs, and somebody came to me, hey, listen, don't be there. They not for you. They don't care about you at all. And I don't know how many times I was able to even give advice, but couldn't follow those same advice. It was just
Like in a relationship alone.
in a relationship and a job. I'll say when we talk about relationship, I'm talking about anything that you could feel connected to. You're like, I just can't. You got to be able to. You always had somebody that was in here like, yo, that ain't it. Don't you like? Come on, I don't like to see you like this. You're. I've been in a couple situations. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep over here listening to Drew Hill, sleeping in my bed. You know what I mean? Tight situations, but it's you gotta understand that it's a learning process. As hopefully as you get older, you understand. All right, let it go. Or how Gucci,
It does come with a
like
learning
Gucci
curve.
and Danny say, let it die.
Let it die. Yeah, let it die.
But that was crazy.
We had some more speaking points that, you know, I clearly didn't review. But
I got you.
you're going to pull them up for us. And
Yes,
I feel unprofessional. But this is my podcast. We ain't professionals. We just out here just trying to speak to the people.
But we are professionals. We professionally getting it done right so that we don't have to do it wrong again.
Look, I ain't no professional. I don't want y'all to hold me to no standards. I'm here right now trying to tell y'all when to stay and when to go.
You trying to let it die?
I ain't trying to let it die.
Oh, all right.
I ain't trying to let it die. But if it must, it must. If it dies, it dies.
So what is it, what's worth in your mind, what's worth staying?
What's worth staying? Yes, again, that comes down to, you know, every individual. Like, for me, worth staying is, it has to be for me. When I say for me, it has to serve purpose to me. If it's not serving purpose to me, then I'm willing to let it die. Only because it has to be purposeful.
You ever step outside your comfort zone?
Yeah, plenty of times. Plenty of times. Believe me, that's how this whole thing even came about. This was not comfortable at all. To know that, first and foremost, to become an entrepreneur. All right, I done got fired umpteen million times, and to realize that my fate on being an employee is to only get fired. Yeah, I've learned how to let things die a long time ago. But in that, I had to stop being afraid to start doing something for myself. Like, yo, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, what I know I'm good at, and what I feel comfortable doing. I don't got to wear a monkey suit every day. I don't got to live by your rules. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to exist, and I'm going to prosper doing so. And in prospering to do so, I'm going to plant these seeds to make sure that what I prospered with will leave something behind for other people to prosper on, because that's how existence works. You know, you eat your apple, you spit the seeds out, the seeds plant a new apple tree. It's supposed to work that way. You're supposed to give back, because then when you're dead, it's supposed to be something that you left behind for the continuance of the species to live on, for the continuance of the world to live on.
Can I get a camera? To the end of this show, I'm going to combat dead. All right, I'm combating that for the rest of the show. So when y'all hear it come back and forth, I'm going to convince somebody. Danny, I might get a fan, but I'm telling you, we're going to combat this death thing. But go ahead, my brother. I hear
No,
you.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, you know, even being here, I had to step out of my comfort zone, because my comfort zone was to be used to what I was told, you know, go to work, make $1, come home, spend it, do it all over again. And if, you know, you stay in that box, you never see what's on the outside of that box. There's so much more on the outside of that box. So, you know, you just take a peek out, and then, you know, when you see what you want, you just go get it. It's gonna be uncomfortable. So, you know, I'm still trying to chase my dream. So like, I'm always out of my comfort zone.
What about you, sis?
I'm all about working together. And when I say working together, I mean, we both human. We both going to have things that we need to work on. You know, relationships is two totally different people coming together trying to form a life together. So, of course, you know, there's going to be nips and, you know, bumps and bruises and all that, and, you know, on the way down the relationship trail. To me, as long as I see that there's change constantly going, it does not mean that. Also, change is hard to do with with a lot of people.
With a lot of people, yeah.
To just ask them to totally stop something that they've been doing for 20, 30, 40 years, you know, you have to work with that person. You got to give them that space and that time to, you know, come up out of a lot of habits that might not be as good for you. You know what I'm saying? As it was working out for them in their single life.
Yeah.
So to me, it would be a main thing of seeing, you know, how we're getting past these changes, if we're growing with the changes, meaning, you know, you don't have to get everything down pat right then, you know.
But if you're
But I
trying.
need to see that, you know, you're trying. Like, if not, then what's the use?
What's the use? What we're doing?
Yeah. And then also, It has a lot to do with how people view love. Love is not the last chord for me. You need to, and this is my opinion only, you need more than love in a relationship for it to work. Longevity. There's times in a relationship where I'm more in love with you than you are with me. And then the next month, you could be like, oh my God, she was kicking me in my sleep all week last week, and she's just annoying. And I'm like, but babe, what are you talking about? I want to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So,
did you just hit me?
right. So a lot of people, you know, always want to, you know, chime in on, you know, what they need out of the love part of it. Love ain't always there. It's about what we do when the love is not there. True. When we are annoying each other, how we got past it. And that's not just relationships, that's friendships. That's your job. If you're constantly going to your employer, telling your employer that, you know, I can't, you know, handle this, or this needs to change, or, you know, why are y'all giving Tom, Dick, and Harry these raises and I've been sitting here waiting? You're not getting what you need out of that relationship. It's time for you to start looking for something else.
And you gotta know your worth. You definitely gotta know your worth. If you don't know your worth, then you sit over there.
You out here just taking anything.
You'll sit over there all day
Absolutely.
just taking in that nonsense that's not even called for. And that start demeaning yourself, put you through depression, and really sitting there like, and then you get comfortable on being in something that you ain't even supposed to be in the first place.
Yeah.
You had all the red flags and everything like that, but you just, because you look at yourself like, oh, this is all I can have.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Know your worth.
Every connection that we make with with a person is for a purpose. Every connection. There's a reason why I started talking to you. There's a reason why I started building a bond with you. And once that is defeated, to me, that's also a red flag to me.
Yeah. Once that's defeated, it's like it's now serves purposeless. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, me personally in my life, I don't have people just standing around stagnant.
Yeah, no.
You're not just you know, if you're an acquaintance, you're an acquaintance. You're an acquaintance over there.
Yeah.
Everything that I build around me is going to be for a reason.
For a reason. All the bonds I make, all the partnerships I create, they're supposed to help me as I help them.
And not just help me, I also find gratification in helping you.
That's what I was just saying.
Now, and I'm gonna say this, because I get it. Yeah, I get that, but me myself, as far as being that individual, my association, I've had to change. You know what I mean? But I realized I had to change it not so that I'm around people, like you said, that's empowering you. You're about something, but not because I need you. When I'm talking about getting money, that's what we talking about. We talking about getting money. But we talking about, hey, yo, you know, like this, that, third. Like, that's what we talking about. It's not that I'm trying to take from you. It's not that I need something. It's the relationship that we have that we on like minds. You know what I mean? Because being around certain individuals, and all they want is they give you a sob story, and then with that sob story comes with the other extra stuff.
Yeah.
Or the favor, the nonsense that comes with, like, gosh, darn it, man. I thought we was on the same page, but I guess that's another thing, one of those things that you just gotta.
Even down to, you ever have a friendship that just drains you? Every time you speak to him, it ain't nothing about what's going on in his life. And then it's after he done spilt his guts and telling you all his problems. Oh man, but yeah, I'm about to run up in here, I'm gonna call you back. And then the next time I speak to you, you want to talk to me about your problems again. That's draining. You're draining your friendship.
Yeah.
When do you stay and when do you go?
Clearly right there.
Yeah.
But I think that, and I'm speaking for myself because throwing at myself, I had to learn to not be that individual. It's hard to, because you find yourself like always in order, like I'll be at work. I was looking at myself, I was just complaining, oh man, we gotta stay here, hours got cut. I gotta work these, I gotta sweep up. Old head foreigner come up to me, he say, how much you get paid? I So I get their sister. And they just want you to push a broom for the next 4 hours. You're absolutely right. Let me go ahead, because what I could be doing is not, my job just became that much easier, and they ready to pay me my regular hourly wage to sweep a broom.
Push the broom.
I'm gonna push this broom.
Absolutely.
And hindsight, the broader picture was the fact that I had to get out of the situation of always complaining about something, because there's always someone in a worser predicament than you.
Yeah.
I had an individual boy, he said, man, yo, old girl, she stink. I'm like, he's like, yo, you don't, like, and he tried to make it a conversation.
No.
So it's me, and it's like the three of us. It's me, it's him, and then it's my other old head, the one that gave me the insight. And he not saying that, he just let them talk. And I'm saying, like for real, you don't know what she got going on in her life.
You have no idea.
You don't know if she even knows that she, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You feel me? But
Absolutely.
you sitting over here talking to her, I said, he said, no, I'm just saying, but seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I said, cuz you ever been around some homeless people?
That's funny,
I said,
right?
you ever go down and do something for somebody else? I said, bro, listen, this is what you can do for me. If you ever see me, well, you know, let me know before I become the butt of all your jokes.
Right, exactly. I had when I worked at a EMT job, I used to have to. We had this EMT that was basically the same way. Everybody was complaining about him, and then finally, you know, they was like, "Yo, you need to say something to him," type thing. And when I spoke to him, he told me, he was like, "You know, yeah, my water's been cut off like the past 2 weeks, and I've been doing bird baths and Wawas and stuff."
Listen.
Like, and I felt horrible, but like you said, everybody else would sit there and about him.
Now
like,
I'm the buddy, and you don't understand what, and I don't care. These
and
shits
then
don't
now,
get easy.
how am I going to, now I done found out what's going
so
on with him.
bad
I'm
like
not
a
going to turn around and be like, oh, but he's homeless, so leave him alone. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
that's
he
his
don't
business.
want his stuff
Business
put out
out there.
there.
Yeah,
Right.
stuff.
Bad enough y'all already talking about him.
Right. Exactly.
Sometimes, like, I know, you ever feel the pressure when somebody talks to you, start feeling the sweat drip down. Like, golly, like, what's going on here, man? Golly. I hate that feeling, but once I get over it, because now I know what they're talking about.
You sweat
I'm
your
like,
neck.
I'm like, you know what? Gucci. Yeah, I mean, but let me know. Hey, yo, this ain't, you know, hey, instead of me, because now I'm gonna fight. Now I got attitude
right.
about the situation. You know what I mean? And I guess that all comes down to knowing your worth, because nobody is perfect. Everybody go through stuff. And understanding your association of who you hanging with.
Yeah.
Because your real friends, a real friend ain't gonna let you just go out there like that. My homies, I remember we had a whole system. Let me see about it. If we went out and we knew we had that one friend that probably didn't have no money, you better look, man, here go $20.
Right.
You hold this $20.
Right.
I'm gonna get the first drink. And you hold the $20 just in case, that way you don't go crazy because you spend that $20. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But just because you have a little, you know what I mean, make it look good, because we all homies.
Absolutely.
We don't want you to look bad. We're gonna go out there. And that was a key, because that was the association. We was like brothers. So as a brotherhood,
Take
we're gonna
care
make sure
of them.
make
You
sure
taken
you're good.
care of. Right. I understand that.
So that homie, right? Do you ever find yourself,
You ain't gotta cry, bro.
shut up,
That's cool.
all right? I'm just saying, that homie that, you know, you had to get the $20 to, right? You know, sometimes their situation turns into a permanent thing. Sometimes you got to find out if it's going to be conducive for you to be around anyone. I hate that situation sometimes, because you feel like you have to find your distance, because you can get sucked into their problem. You get sucked into their lifestyle. You can get sucked into their stuff way easier just by being around them, and they're not doing nothing about it.
That comes down to the red flags and what you willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up.
Absolutely.
Because there's certain things, like, I understand that, and y'all better stop talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I've been in that type of situation where, though, my relationship got better with the individual when they let me know what it was. Because sometimes people do stuff and don't know that they're doing it. So you sit over here like this, hey, yo, man, it's cool. I got people who say, oh, you just think this is a thing. Like, my daughter, she didn't, hey, dad, it's my baby girl, love her to death. But if you're asking me and you're not even trying to find a way, to go ahead and do this. Of course, she's at an age that she can't.
Oh,
but when that
absolutely.
person becomes, I got to show you how to get your own. How they say you could take a horse to water.
You can't make it
Can't
drink.
make it drink.
You know what I mean? That's full facts.
Here's the water. Put your mouth on it.
Yeah, I tell my son that all the time. That's a saying I say to my son all the time. I can lead you to water. I can't make you drink. I can teach you what to do. I can show you what to do. It's up to you if whether you do it or not.
Yeah.
And I think, like what you said, is you'll see those true colors. You'll see that individual, because an individual that's going through hard times or an individual that's just a user, you're going to see him because now they become a creature of habit.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I'm like, oh, that's, you ain't
You ain't even try.
even trying. You know what I mean?
If you going out, you got money? I was hoping you'd give me $20 again. Yeah, nah, I'm gonna call it a day.
Even when they not even going to say that, they gonna come with you. Like, yeah, fine, that's cool.
Oh, I forgot my wallet, dog.
No, or hang right to you. Like, yo, you want a shot? Yeah, man. Yo, you want a shot? No, man. My fault. It'll never be the no. It'll be, then you just sit there waiting. Like, what you waiting for? And you ain't gonna get on shot? He said, no, I mean, I ain't even thirsty. I'm trying to quit drinking. I don't smoke no more.
I came to the smoking bar. I'm trying to quit drinking and smoking. The fuck?
Been them situations, man, and you just, I think the best relationships I had when I'm able to be transparent with the person. If you have a relationship and you can't be transparent, where you can't tell the individual, I can't be hanging around you because this, that, third, to better the, like, because you can't drag me down with you.
Yeah, I'm not letting you do
I mean,
that.
I'm not going to let you, I can't let you do that, especially and now at this point, because things come up.
We're supposed to ride or die. Well, you die first. I'm gonna ride this way.
You know what I mean? That's death. You're not.
Yeah.
Death.
So here's a question I have. So like when you do decide that it's time to go, how do you do that? How do you be with someone for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years and not see the progression and get to the point that you're like, I need to let this go? How do you let it go?
I'm going to take a page from the Danny book.
I'm gonna create uncomfortable distance. You can't just get to me, but I can get to you.
Uncomfortable distance.
Uncomfortable distance.
What's the page out of the Danny book?
That right there, the uncomfortable distance.
Oh, that's the page out of the Danny.
When they wake up, like, did she move all shit?
Damn, she done packed
All
up.
stuff is gone?
I can't call. She done blocked me. I don't know where she is.
Did
And
she-
this ain't like, back in the 80s,
Did she die?
pop on social media. This ain't the 80s where, you can move like up the street because they didn't have the internet and you can start a whole new life and no one fucking
Right,
know.
5 blocks away.
Nah, she went to a
Turned
whole
on
other county and a
all
whole other
social
state.
media.
Also, y'all ghost people?
I mean,
Y'all would
I said
ghost
I'm learning
people?
now because that was my biggest problem.
Was ghost
I remember
ghosting?
somebody ghosted me for 2 years and was living around the corner. I ain't gonna say their name.
I ain't know he ain't know.
But see, I think that's
This is what we was showing
I
I didn't know he ain't know.
I think that's definitely like a woman thing. I think y'all
And I
have
think we was even like talking and shit too. And then remember one day you was like, "Where you at?" And I was like, "You was like, nigga."
No, I remember you called me. I was like, "Who's this?" She's like, "You don't know who this is." Who's this? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I didn't hear from you.
It was
That
like-
was
it
in
was
between when
good-
you popped up at Valerie's house to the time that we reunited again.
No. This was when I was living in Mays Landing, and you was at. We was both in Mays Landing, and I don't know why we stopped talking, but you had called me. It was a long time we had spoke. I'm like, "Who's this?" You don't know my voice? I'm sorry. Wait, Danny, where the fuck you been at?
And I do remember with him saying like, "You right around the goddamn corner."
Right on the goddamn corner.
Is that I feel like that's a woman's thing. Like
No,
y'all-
that's a weird Danny thing. Danny is a secluded person.
I say woman
like
thing
Women
because-
do that
staying
shit.
under my
I've had a couple
radar.
relationships, like, old girl was like, "Oh, you mad because I'm not with you?" Like, we spent time and with that stuff. I thought you just would have moved on.
Right.
Granted, I moved on, but it was just nothing like just a whoop, flick of the switch. Like y'all mask it, whether y'all deal with it or not, y'all mask it very well. And for y'all, when we say emotional people, it's like, don't never see it like You know, it just blew my mind.
I didn't see those signs.
So my first advice would be, if you do end up having a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 year relationship that you're ready to end.
Dating Page 101.
Damn.
My first advice is, if you're going to be the one to bring it up, then make sure that you got your plans in order. Do you know how many times I've seen people in relationships sit there and get mad and be like, you know what, fuck you, I'm leaving. But you ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no money saved up. Your mom already got somebody sleeping on the couch.
You still on your girl's cell phone plan.
Right, like you made no steps.
Nothing.
Listen.
To make sure you good.
Listen.
Like people,
I'm tired of this shit.
right, it just go crazy.
And then don't get played, make you feel real sorry, like, oh, you leaving? And then everything that y'all share together start getting turned off.
Yeah.
Right,
I thought you was
exactly.
Thought you was out.
Right,
You
and
leaving?
start taking you off their cell phone plans.
Leave my car. Leave my car.
Right.
Whoa.
Look where the car go. Oh,
Right.
man.
And I'm driving it for 1 more month because I paid this car insurance last month. That's why.
Joe with it?
I got to the end of this month.
Facts on that, man.
But yes, that's my number one. Make
Have
sure
that
you
plan.
got a plan. Don't be coming up in the relationship complaining and then ain't got no plan.
At all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna be like, oh damn, for real?
That's how you know you ain't ready to go. You still trying to
You
stay.
still, yeah. Like, damn, can I borrow like 20? No, you can't.
Right.
You out, dog. Come on.
Or gotta go pack your whole motherfucking house up with you and shit and then
You
turn
deemed
around
yourself
and yeah.
purposeless, and now you got to die.
Now, hold on. I got a question for y'all. So, have you ever had a situation where, though, you was ready for them to go? You didn't have to go, but you was ready for them to go, and they were still trying to stick around.
Always.
How did y'all deal with that situation?
Damn, have I?
We already know Danny don't play that.
I ain't gonna lie. So
Danny didn't
I had
jump
this
to
one
a whole new
relationship.
planet.
We were bouncing back and forth on staying and going. And so she pretty much put me out. I'm like, bet. So I'll go downstairs to my mama's house. That's where I was living at the time. And then I knew the landlord, and I'm moving my stuff out, and I talked to the landlord, like, look, so I know the lease is up. She's putting me out as her lease is getting ready to end. All right, bet. Call the landlord. I'm like, so can I just assume the lease? Like, yeah, sure. Just give me the deposit, you right in there. So I start moving my stuff back in, and she's pissed at me. Like, why are you moving your stuff back in here? Because I'm the new leaseholder over here. So when you're ready to get out, you can leave.
That's
Petty.
shit.
Petty.
Never did that.
And that's gangster. I ain't gonna hold you. That's the gangster. You done took over the whole lease. Okay. She like, what you doing with my stuff?
Why you
Your
bring
stuff.
your shit
I'm bringing my
back
stuff
in?
back in
It's
because
a new
you're
owner.
moving out.
It's a new owner to this household.
So, you know.
That's some salty stuff right there. What about Miss Danny? Come on, give it to us.
I don't let it get to that point. I ain't beat for all that. I see when the cookies start crumbling right from the door.
Yeah.
I don't.
Were you ever wrong?
Oh yeah. I'm a very emotional person that tries to hide it.
What? Lower your voice a little bit.
I'm a very
confused.
emotional person that tries to hide it. So yes, definitely. But no, I've never had where the other person, I'm ready for the other person to leave and he never went. No, I've never had that situation, me personally. Thank God.
Yeah, No. What was the question again? Next question. Let's go.
We got to start wrapping up soon because clearly somebody don't want to go. We got 5 minutes to be out.
Listen. All right, I'm gonna give y'all your format. All right. What was the question?
You asked the question, man.
If you,
Man.
was there ever somebody that tried to stay? You was ready for them to
To
go,
go.
but they
didn't wanna leave?
Why you
Yeah.
gonna repeat the question back?
I was trying to give you some time, El Negro.
Yeah. At that point, at that point, it is what it is. I mean, in the younger days, I wouldn't do that now. In the younger days, if you stay, that means you put everything that's about to happen.
Happened. Yeah.
Because now, because I'm gonna go. If I don't care, especially if I don't care,
Oh, you gonna hate me?
or we bad time, and I'm petty. I can be real young petty
You
at
can get-
that time. So I mean, come in, you see me butt naked on you know what I mean? Oh, I didn't know you was gonna be here type situation. My bad. Hold on, let me
Oh,
clean
you
up
got your
real quick.
friends?
Yeah.
Tell them to back up for a minute.
My bad.
If you come back in like 20 minutes, I'm almost done.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Real, but also because I also been on both sides of the spectrum. Like, I don't mind giving y'all both sides. I've been the bad dude, and I also got hurt where I was salty. Like, that's why I'm at a point now. I
The
just
bad duder and then the bad dude.
Ooh, I have a question. Have you ever tried to self-sabotage a relationship because you're ready to get out?
Yeah, I tried that once.
not because I was ready. I was doing it just because, like, back to the earlier conversation of not knowing my self-worth.
Okay.
So a lot of times when you don't understand your real worth, you start to be comfortable with just sometimes getting ran down on. You know what I mean? And it don't have to be physical. It's just a mental situation where you think, oh, this is what it is. I mean, and I was sabotaging, and I didn't know that till close friends. Like,
You're self-sabotage.
yeah, you
You're pressing the
whole
self-destruction button.
this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely been in that situation where I've self-sabotaged shit.
Word?
Yeah, I
You want
have.
to tell us about it?
Not major detail, but yes, definitely. I've self-sabotaged with someone trying to get me to understand a certain way about myself that I obviously wasn't ready to let go at that time or wasn't understanding. And who the hell you think you talking to type thing. Who the hell you think you is?
Gotta jump past that
You
ego.
got your shit with you too, and I don't sit there and poke at your insecurities and your, and totally self-sabotage, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you were deflecting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Like, what you talking about? Look at yourself in the mirror first. God damn it, leave me alone.
Because that be the
Right,
situation.
right.
You sit over there, and when I'm talking to somebody and I'm giving them good information about themselves, because we having that, you open up the door for it. It's oh no, you start deflecting real easily. Like, well, I'm just trying. All right, well, we can't have this. Oh, you want to over talk? Or you ask me a specific question, I start answering, and then you piggyback off that question
Not even the
to a
question.
whole new question.
You piggyback
Right.
off the first 3 words, and now I didn't even answer the goddamn question. You know what? Go ahead and continue. You had this whole argument by yourself.
Yeah.
Right,
It
right.
ain't yeah. Those be the things that we be talking about and chopping it up.
All day. But our time is up for the week, guys. We appreciate y'all stopping in with us. Any good news for anybody?
Check us out when y'all link up on Spotify. Hit our polls. Ask those questions. If you go on YouTube, you see us, go ahead. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. You can be unanimous, I think.
Can you?
Probably not. But we ain't gonna look you up to that extreme.
Unanimous is not a.
Yeah.
Anonymous is the word you're looking for.
Anonymous? Is that it? I'm
Unanimous.
sorry. Thank you.
Gotcha.
So this is why we a group. This is why we a team.
Right.
When I use words, I don't know the meaning of.
You said unanimous.
Right, like when,
I need you to run these
Like
big
what?
words by us before you use them on camera.
right.
I ain't look at my notes. That's all it was.
Unanimous,
my
like,
notes.
wait.
Like
no,
when you
that's-
said worser.
Worse is a word.
No,
it just
worse
didn't
is
come-
not.
First of
Word.
all,
It's worse.
that's going to be another topic because we talking about words that people just randomly bring out. We got a whole nother dictionary of words that not even actual words, but they are TikToks.
like
They-
bootylicious.
Bootylicious is a word.
It's in the dictionary, right? Now go look for worser in the dictionary.
Right. Because
You
it
said
can't
next
get
time-
no
you said
worse
next
than
time
worse.
on Fader, right? You
Next
said
time on. Next time on chopping it up. Shut up. Here at Faded. But we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in again, and it's always fun. We try to do this as often as possible. Don't get stuck in that position. You might be lacking potassium or something. You've been working
Yeah,
out.
because I don't want to forget all that, Charlie words.
Yeah.
But look us up also on TikTok. Check us out on Instagram. Look us up on Facebook.
We on Twitter too. I don't know if y'all
Yeah,
still Twitter out
Twitter.
there, but we some literary people.
Yeah.
Unanimously literary. Okay.
And talk to us. Put comments and
We'd love
talk
your
about
feedback.
things that that you guys want us to hear about. And we'll definitely shout you out. Let us know.
We're just butchering this fucking English language today. We are.
First of all, y'all gonna stop picking on. All right,
We're gonna stop picking on you. We're gonna stop picking on you.
that's all right. When worse will come out, y'all gonna be like,
Worse, sir.
Word, sir. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all next time.
If you want the truth, Gucci gon' give it to you. If you want the truth, Danny gonna give it to you. If you want the truth, Sincere gon' give it to you. Gon' give it to you. If you want the truth, Gucci gon' give it to you. If you want the truth, Danny gon' give it to you. If you want the truth, Sincere gon' give it to you. 'Cause we're chopping it up.